Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for the Championship review show. It was round 25 last night and tonight, indeed. A couple of postponements in the way, but some developing stories for us to talk about in Championship land for sure. We're going to go through the 4 games that happened last night, so it won't be as long a show as normal. And I would love to get your feedback on each of them. Please let me know that you can see me, hear me loudly and clearly over there in the comments, and get your views on each game as we go. As ever, we in the channel would like to say thank you, because it's a review show, to Russ, our fan sponsor, a fan and our friend, despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. If you want to get involved in any lovely sponsorship things, and I think we're going to have Jason signed up yesterday getting involved too, you can do so over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. As ever on here, you can also support via Super Chat. If we need to use the fake news Simbin, the first person to get a Super Chat in will be the king of the bin and owns the fake news Simbin sponsorship for the duration of the show. And of course, on YouTube, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell, but most importantly, comment, particularly as we go around each game. Let me know what you think. Let's say hi to Alistair, Noah, Mr. E, Carl, Alistair. There is Jason, indeed. I just mentioned him. Don, James, Tom, and Boylan's lost her head football food funnies. Yes, good signing for it. 2 signings for Ipswich. We can talk about them at the end. Right, let's get into the action. And there it is last night. So a little bit distorted by the postponements. Should have been 6 games. There was only 4. It was Derby 1, Bournemouth 0 in one of the 6 p.m s. Reading 3, Coventry 0 in the other of the 6 p.m s. Blackburn and Swansea was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. Sheffield Wednesday and Wickham, that's an on-running COVID issue there. Rotherham 3, Stoke 3. What a game there. And I was at Watford 1, Barnsley 0, which is where we will start. Get your comments in. Watford 1, Barnsley 0. Cisco Munoz has played 3 home games. He's won all of them, and he hasn't conceded a goal. Watford have the best home record in the Championship, and they now have 7 more points at home than any other team in the league. Norwich can change that tonight, but Watford are extremely good at home, and they kept up that record last night against Barnsley. There are your teams. Backman in goal for Watford, no cycling goalkeeper. Firmino, Ikong, Sierralta and Messina. So he's developed his own back 4 straight away there. Sarr and Sema wide. Hughes and Cleverly, lot of quality and experience in that central midfield pair. Deeney and the somewhat misfiring Gray up front. For Barnsley, steady and solid as ever in their selection. Walton, Solbauer, Anderson, Hellick, Styles, Britton, same every time. Moa is partnered by Ramal Palmer. So Ismail is a man of his word. He let James go back to Leicester and then off to Coventry on loan because he wanted to play Herbie Kane and Ramal Palmer. And he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. The front 3 there, Chaplin, Woodrow, Adebayo. No start yet for, what's the name of the guy they signed for Norwich? Carlton Morris. Let's have a look a little bit of the action. Here we go, straight into it. Handball. You can see there, the clock's on the screen. 25-25 into the game. So the arm is away from the body in an unnatural position, which the rules quote. Callum Britton argued, which you can't see in the picture, that it does. The ball grazes his knee on the way up. Without wanting to upset any Barnsley fans, I think this was a penalty. It does touch Callum Styles on the way, but I think given the position of the arm and the ball didn't change direction too much, it just seems the only way to defend these now. Stick your hands behind your back and say, that's the chance I'm taking. And handball there, you can see it's Robinson, isn't it, the referee? Well positioned. And Troy Deeney, now obviously I was in the ground and there were no fans in there. So there was a definite bit of sledging from Walton to Deeney beforehand, probably saying, I know you're going to stick this down the middle. I'm going to save it. Deeney sticks it down the middle. Walton gets two hands to it, pushes it into the roof of the net. I think he possibly should save it, but Deeney's penalties always just blast the keeper out the way and go in, don't they? For the rest of the half, Watford could have got a second, actually. Gray missed a couple of chances. In the second half, Ekong should have scored. This is the closest that Barnsley came. Spot the ball. It's just hidden behind that nice Bet365 white flash of a ball. Lovely cross by Mowat. Sierralta heads to try and defend it. He's got to play the ball because look where Woodrow is. Good save by Backman. And my sense from this game, Barnsley obviously further down the line in terms of their pattern of play and organisation, etc. Watford just had a little bit more quality. Sarr every now and then just does something comical. Deeney's too good for the league. Gray is struggling, but then Hughes and Cleverly. Sema's good as well, the other left winger. So they've just got quality that makes it count when excuse me, they need to. There are the numbers, and you can see 4 big chances to 0 is revealing from a Watford point of view, despite a fair bit of possession and some shots. 0 shots on target for Barnsley. Let's have a look at the league table and then we'll go to your comments. So, Watford go up to 3rd. There's no parachute cartel at all now because look where Bournemouth are. We'll talk about them in a minute. Barnsley remain in 10th, but the roadblock we imagined has happened, hasn't it? It was consecutive games against Norwich and Swansea and Watford. They have lost all 3 of them. However, if I were a Barnsley fan, I would have some confidence that when they do again go up against teams that aren't, literally the top 3 teams in the league, I think they will pick up more victories. Just to press home that point, look at that from Watford. 32 points at home, only 11 away. So pretty much 2/3 of their points scored at home. My assertion with Watford is, that's imperious. The likelihood of that keeping up at that incredible standard is low. But even if it just drops off a little bit, all they need to do is be middling away from home, 1.5, 1.4 points per game. And that'll be enough with the home record. So we'll probably see both slightly regress to the mean, as in home record will drop a little, away record should go up, and we'll see where that leaves them. Let's have a look. What are you guys saying in the chat? Gray can't score. Why didn't Pedro start? Barnsley's best chance was from a header from our own defender. Indeed, I don't think João Pedro started just purely because of the size of the 3 Barnsley centre backs. So thought Barnsley would end up being Watford's bogey club. Guess not. Steve says, what about Reading last night? Well, if you know how the show works, Steve, we work our way down. So Reading will be next. Focus on the game we're on at the moment. Good win by Watford. When Watford get a penalty, Troy will score. Barnsley need help in the final third. Watford played well on the counter. What did you think of Zinkernagel when he came on? Russell, there was one moment where Watford got Barnsley on transition as Barnsley pushed forward. And he did a beautiful dribble and nearly played João Pedro in. The issue I've got, Russell, and maybe you can help me out, is that when Zinkernagel came on, he played down the right and Sarr went down the left. Are they both right wingers? And how do you remove one player from their better position to accommodate the other? And I thought Barnsley fans would be happy that, Barnsley fans should, big picture, they really should be, shouldn't they? Watford still seem a bit like underperformers to me. Teams should be scared to play them, but aren't that intimidating a proposition? Well, not in home games for teams that are facing them, Don, but they're a blooming intimidating proposition at Vicarage Road, aren't they? And it is just quality. There was a couple of moments where they string together something between, and Firmino, the right back, and Sarr as a pair should be one of the best in the league down there. But where they just move the ball around from Hughes to Cleverley to Sarr to Sema, Deeney comes short. It's only Gray, really, that's a weak link at the moment. It's just got that Premier League quality in the bank, haven't they? So, we'll see. Entirely predictable, but can Munoz turn around the away form? That's the question. That is the question. If he does, they'll get automatic because that home form's ludicrous, isn't it? Screw my schoolwork and watch you. Nice one, Owen. Watford have all the ingredients. Where does Cisco is the cook to make the promotion cake remains the question. Feel they aren't where they should be. Interesting. James says, at least we have some of the tougher games out of the way earlier. May allow for a good run of games later in the season. Steve, you're not understanding this. Buddy, we're going to talk about the Reading game in a minute, okay? We're focusing on the Watford game, yeah? You'll understand how the channel works and how the commenters work in a second. Somebody told me mid-January would be 10th and would have snapped their hand. Absolutely, yeah. I think Barnsley will finish somewhere between, 11th and 15th, like Tyler says as well. I was worried Zinkernagel, that is, was the Sarr replacement. We'll see how adaptable they are. Right, that was Watford Barnsley. Just very, very quickly, we got to talk and mention Swansea and Blackburn, just purely to see how the postponement left the league. Obviously, Swansea in tremendous form. They will have wanted to play, wouldn't they? But hey, another game on a pudding of a pitch like the previous one. There we go. So that's where Swansea and Blackburn are left without playing. Obviously, there's more games tonight. Swansea in excellent form, still in second. Watford close up. Brentford is the one, isn't it? 2 games in hand now. Could go past both of them with a couple of victories. Right, let's move on. And for those patient of you enough to wait, let's do Reading 3, Coventry 0. And Reading, excellent, moved back into 4th position. We worried, didn't we? 4-game losing streak, loads of injuries. Here they are again, and they are not moving down the table, but with this latest run, they're in fact moving back up the table. Obviously, well-timed, 10 points in 4 games. So excellent from Reading. And at the same time as Bournemouth go on a poor little run and Brentford don't play for a few weeks. So Reading take advantage. So tip of the cap to them. Raphael in goal. Holmes over Estevez. Wonder who'll finish the season in that position. Morrison, McIntyre, so still no more. Richards, Laurent Rinomota. And now, look at that front 4. Even without Maite, Swift is back. Elise, Swift, Ejaria, Zhao. And that's not accounting for Maite and Puskás as well. We always said that. Reading have got good attacking players and something solid behind them. If they just get Liam Moore back, why the hell not? Can they not finish up there in those playoff positions where they've been for a fair old while now, haven't they? There's your Coventry team. Wilson, Ostigard, McFadzean and Hyam, McCallum, Darbo, Hamer, Matty James in. We mentioned him in relation to Barnsley, didn't we? O'Hare, Shipley, no Godden. So Gyökeres, the loanee, one of 2 loanees in the team from Brighton. place. Let's have a look at the pictures. And this is just like the most Lucas João goal you can get. He's having a stunning season, isn't he? That makes it look very easy as he just half volleys it in left foot. But what you don't see from the steal, he gets it in. And it's that mix of his power, but his close control as well is so good. And he's got the strength to brush the defenders off, but then he's got the feet to control the ball. And he is on his day. And this is the most consistent season he's had since he's been with us in the Championship. He is having a fabulous season. Lucas João 1-0 there. Andy Rinomota, who, along with Josh Laurent, never misses a game. That's right at the start of the second half. Sticks that one in the corner, left-footed. All those Coventry players backing in the way, but he finds the corner there. Rinomota, good finish by him. Here is a foul by Kyle McFadzean on Ovi Ejaria. Free kick, and everyone's going, come on, John, just ping this into the back post, pick out one of the big guys. No, what a goal this is. Reading fans will correct me. I saw John Swift score an absolute worldie. I think it was on Boxing Day. I was there. Would have been against QPR. This one was even better, I have to say. What a strike. That is no right to score from there. And very much like the Gascoigne free kick, the famous Gascoigne free kick against David Seaman in 91 at the old Wembley. The keeper's in the right position, the Wolves in the right position, but it's so accurate and hits so hard that when that dip comes, even if you are in the right position, look where he puts it. What a strike by John Swift. Brilliant goal, and tip of the cap to Reading, who do it again. Let's have a look at the numbers. 3 big chances and missed 2 of them as well. Reading typical there in terms of less possession, but brutally efficient in front of goal. Those 2 Coventry big chances are set play ones. I think they might even both be Ostegard from set play. So as usual, Reading, in terms of their shape and solidity in open play, very good. And if you can marry solidity and shape in open play with, the threat that Elise, Ejaria, Swift, João and Maite to come back give you, there's good recipe. Maybe they actually underachieved under Mark Bowen, because there's not many players come in this season. They were all there last season, weren't they? Obviously, Ejaria is there full time now, and Elise is developing now and having his breakout season. So Reading, what more can we say? Excellent. 10 points in the last 4 games. And the worries that Reading fans were having to defend against the sceptics after 22 points in the first 8 games, which was sensational. They're now bringing up a better total after a couple of little losing streaks in there. Coventry, it's a bit of a worry, actually, because have they peaked? I know they're not very good away from home, but generally speaking, there is a couple of wins in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is 2 wins in the last 8. But are they now going to maybe slide a bit closer down? And is the worry, specifically when we look at both Rotherham and Derby's results last night, is the worry now that the gap will start to close up? Let's have a look at your comments. What have we got in the chat here? Swift, 10 out of 10. Great strike. Absolutely agree. Tyler, thought Cov played well. Reading attack is so clinical. Absolutely. Elise came off with a shoulder problem. Hopefully he's okay. Well, it might not be a bad thing if he has a shoulder problem to the end of the transfer window, mightn't it? Reading are currently apparently have acquired about a few Premier League players on loan. Interesting. What, at centre half or at fullback, maybe? Interesting. Right, Henry, if you want to get in the bin, my normal dealing with people who correct my pronunciation of players. Let's put Henry in the fake news sin bin. In he goes, because we're working really hard on the channel. I cover 30 teams. In he goes quickly. I cover 30 teams. I live in England. I am English. I speak one language. I've never learned any other language. Lots of brilliant foreign football players have come to play in the league that I support. And no, I will not pronounce their names, every single one, in all of the individual accents that somebody speaking their language would. Don't be ridiculous. Enjoy the show. Stop being such a bloody pedant. Moving on. Anyway, great game management to bring Holmes off at halftime for Estevez. Holmes was a red card waiting to happen. Not a massive fan of 4-2-3-1 in the current game. But that Reading team is balanced, isn't it? Indeed. Reading will go up if Zhao stays fit. Got to keep scoring, hasn't he? Defending reminded me of us at the start of the season. Shambles. Lack of goals is concerning. We are creating chances, but not taking them. Fair play, Reading outclassed 4 home games in a row. Nice. Well said. What do we got here? Coventry started well. Should have been 1 up before Reading scored. Yes, the Ostergaard header. Competitive. Reading are good in the big moments, though, aren't they? Great result. 3-0 looked harsh on Cov, but their defence helped by giving the ball away. Potential banana skin averted. On to the next 4 huge games against top 6 rivals, except Preston. Yeah, men from the boys will be sorted indeed. Ben's in a bad mood. So watch out. Now, I just get fed up when you're trying to cover 30 teams, yeah, and all people do is try and correct your pronunciation of a foreign player. And it's like, if you want to correct anyone's pronunciation, you can probably record any human being in the world for about 30 seconds and find about 5 things that you can nitpick about. So there we go. Get him told, Ben. Just don't turn into the Hulk. There we go. Now, it's just one of my pet hates, that, especially as well, because you're expected to say it in the accent of that language. It's such a ridiculous thing. There you go. It's bouquet, not bucket. It's exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, get over it. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. See, he is in a bad mood. I'm just not in the mood to have this pronunciation nonsense. I don't think it affects my ability to cover football in an adequate way. I haven't had much sleep. There we go. We had to put someone in, didn't we? Gotta be done. Right. Shall we move on? And who are we doing next? I'm all at sea now in my big grump and bad mood. Derby 1, Bournemouth 0. Well, so many klaxons to sound here, isn't there? We've got a Wayne Rooney first win as full-time manager klaxon. We've got our Bournemouth now slipping klaxon as well. And we've got a Derby doing very well against the top 4 or 6 or indeed this season. So there is your teams in this one. Still no Marshall in goal, and Rooney presumably matching up there. Why he's gone to a back 3, I guess. Clark, Wisdom, Evans, Burnham, Buchanan, the wing backs, Bielik and Shinnie holding midfielders. Kazim, Richards, Josviak and Knight wide. For Stoke, not Stoke, I see Begovic and I think Stoke. For Bournemouth, Begovic, Carter Vickers, who started a couple of games now, only lasted for half time in this one. Cook and Kelly are the back 3. Stacey and Smith are the wing backs. Lerma, red card overturned, rightly so, I think. And Cook. Danjuma returns. Solanke and Brooks start. And well done, Derby, because that's a pretty stacked Bournemouth team. Let's have a look at some of the pictures here. At 0-0, big chance for Dom Solanke. Soft feet there. Slide that in the corner. It's a firm cross down the right from, was it Stacey or Smith was playing wing back in this game? I can't remember. Jack Stacey, there we go. Firm cross, and he can't quite just divert it into the net. Here's the goal. Set play. Bielik, Mr. No Number there. Spot the ball. It's hidden almost in between that Bournemouth pair of legs there, and Bielik just manages to force that one home right-footed. I'll put this up because it's a great save by Kelroos from Lloyd Kelly, although in deference to any Derby fans who think I'm just showing Bournemouth missed chances, there was a Clark header cleared off the goal line as well. And from what I was hearing from my very enthusiastic Derby friends last night, this was a decent performance. Remember when we did them on the watch-along Derby and they just took Swansea completely by surprise, played beautifully in the first half. I think it might have been something akin to that. 3 big chances, all missed as well. Buchanan went through clear in the first half, didn't he? 12 shots to 10, low on the possession, but hey, whatever. 1-0. 3 corners to 4, 12 shots to 10. It's a good performance. And for those of you who want to be really, really helpful, I've been asked to write a piece on Wayne Rooney tactically. So if you do want to DM me any ideas or things of that nature, you can do that on Instagram or Twitter. I'll be very, very grateful. So let's deal with Derby first, because they'd had that couple of dodgy little results where you think they would have been picking up points. Look at that Sheffield Wednesday where they missed a whole ton of chances and then lost at home to Rotherham, who never win away. But they've come back with a win, and so then it's 6 points from 4 games, even with those 2 defeats, which will do you when you're down the bottom there, when at 1.5 on the points per game, and they're out of the bottom 3. Rotherham will be thinking, for goodness sake, we've got 4 points in 2, and we're still in it. But I was saying the other day, oh look, there's a bottom 4 now. There's a gap. Not no more, as they would say in my home county of Suffolk, because the tide is rising at the bottom there. And look, okay, Wycombe are adrift, but they're 19, 20, 22, 24, 25, and then 3 teams on 26, taking you as far as Millwall in 16. So it's concertinaed a little bit. Let's talk about Bournemouth, and then I will go to your comments, because this is the worst run now of the season, isn't it? They've barely been losing at all, hadn't they, Bournemouth? Sorry about that. And then all of a sudden, 3 defeats in the past 5 games, only 4 points in the last 5 games. And that's coincided with Norwich, zooming off, Brentford in good form, Swansea in good form, Reading 10 points in 4. So I know if you want to get promoted, there's never a good time to lose 3 in 5 games. But it's the first big test now for Jason Tindall as a manager. Look at the next game as well. Oof. Reading away. That'll be a really, really interesting one. We'll see. We'll learn a lot about those 2 teams in that game as to who ultimately will finish higher. They'll both be thinking, if we're going to do it this season, we need to win this game, won't they? That's nicely set up. There might even be a watch-along, actually. Yes, it is. Join me on Friday night for that one. Looking forward to that one already. But yeah, you can see everybody else in the top 6 has scored 6 points in the last 2 games, and Bournemouth has scored 0. Literally the worst possible scenario for the Cherries at the moment. Let's go to your comments. Agreed. Begovic was brilliant against us in the 2-2 draw. Goals have dried up for Bournemouth. Millwall are the team to target if I was a manager in the relegation zone. They have been not very good for months. Bournemouth are defensively weak, rely on Begovic a lot. Brooks is out of form, sadly, yeah. Tindall won't play him wide due to wing-backs. But I don't think there is a crisis for the under. Well said, Chris. At the moment, Derby cannot bring any players. Yeah, remember my rules about the Derby takeover. I'll talk about it when it happens. Since Rooney took over, taken 16 points from 11 games, 1.5. Nice. Over a season, you won't quite make the playoffs, but you'll definitely be in top 10, Ridley. Man after my own heart there. Points per game extrapolation there. You've got to love it, haven't you? Just remember, though, how bad the Derby start was. So even with the 1.5, probably going to be a bit lower than the top 10 just because of the hopeless start. Jason says Derby are doing better. I wonder if Rooney can use context to bring players in Bournemouth could do automatic if they keep Wilshere. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they pop Wilshere in the team. Relatively comfortable win. We're better when teams come onto us. Our pitch, though, there's a few absolute puddings, isn't it? Comment of the day. All hail Sir Benjamin Bloom. Well done, Ben. Bournemouth friend says it's not a happy camp. Ooh, interesting. Arguments on the pitch and players saying they're fit on social media when the men. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Rumours abound. I can see loads of other. Oh, there we go. Tyler, a super chat, which does mean Tyler is the king of the bin now. So if anyone goes in, thank you very much, Tyler, for the super chat. If anyone goes in, Tyler has the title of King of the Bin. There we go. Some silliness, hey, never did anybody any harm. Right. Okay, I could take a wind up. There you go. I'll calm down now. Why do you keep getting names wrong? It's Rodney, not Rooney. I can take it, honestly. Right. Let's move on. And there is one more. Hell of a game, this one. It was Rotherham 3, Stoke 3. I mean, I would say in an unhelpful draw because most teams in the position that Rotherham are in the bottom 3 and Stoke chasing the playoffs could do with wins. But, hey, who can do with wins? And we love a 3-3 draw, don't we? And I wonder whether Rotherham, we always worried about them being a bit defensive and having a striker isolated up front. But look there, Matt Crooks in the number 10 position with 2 goals. I wonder whether if Crooks can play well for the rest of the season in that 10 position, in what is sometimes a pretty vast gap when you watch Rotherham, I have to say, that could be a decisive positional. It's not happening upon because we've seen Crooks play there before, but can he play well there and support with some goals? We will see. There's your Rotherham team. Blackman, Ihekwa, Wood, MacDonald, Harding, Olasunde are the wing-backs. Wiles, Barlassa, Lindsay across the middle. Crooks in the 10 with Smith up top. Stoke, Bursick in goal. Still no Gunn there. Collins, Suter, Bart. The new pair of wing-backs there, Norrington Davis and Rabbi Matondo. Cousins, John Obi and Thompson. Powell probably tucked in a little bit. And Jacob Brown, no real striker on the pitch there. And I must apologise in advance. I looked for a couple of different sources, but the camera is rubbish in this. It's a bit blurry on all the freeze frames, so I do apologise. And how's your luck, Angus MacDonald? This is a ridiculous goal. So Norrington Davis is just going to cross it in low, maybe for Jacob Brown. I mean, it looks like they've defended it fairly well. It'd have to be the perfect cross to get him in there. Of course, that's going to hit Angus MacDonald. I think it's the second player along it's going to hit, actually. Or is it? Someone will take a in the chat. Spoons, exactly the one place you don't want it to go. Flies into the top corner. I think he had a deflection earlier in the season as well, MacDonald. How's your luck? There we go. But Norrington Davis having an impact. Now, here is the aforementioned Crook. And this is again, it's very blurry. This is a bit of a mess, this goal, because Danny Bart, and I never thought I'd see this from a Michael O'Neill team, is taking a short goal kick. They're trying to play out from the back, and he just gets caught on the ball by Smith, who does really well to. He's right in the corner, and he gets a decent cross in. And Crooks, as you can see, just pops that one home. Then 2-1 to Rotherham. So the turnaround complete as we go into the second half. A bit of a mess again from a Stoke point of view there. Bursick all at cease. Not the greatest, is he? I don't want to pile in on players, but certainly maybe they'd have a few more points if they'd had fit first choice. Like 5 injured at one point or something. And Smith, Johnny on the spot, as Gary Lineker used to be called, and just nods that one in. Here's Danny Bart on the back post. Again, apologies, no replays on the coverage I saw or unblurry pictures. So Bart heads it in on the back post. I think Powell puts the cross in. I tell you, some lovely crossing and headed finishing in this game. And this is a great finish. Goes loose to Matt Crooks. You can see pretty much on the penalty spot there. Barring in, right foot, lovely goal, 3-2. But if you want anyone in the league in a number 10 position, arriving on a header, at the moment it's probably Nick Powell, who's so good in the air. He's been doing it all his career. And he must have scored in his last 3 games now, I think, or certainly he's put a fair few goals on the board. And in that number 10 position, just that physicality and that ability to time the runs and be in the right place in the right time. Brilliant stuff from him. Great game. 3-3. Let's have a look at the numbers. It's only 36 possession for Rotherham, but 13 shots, only 3 and 4 shots on target. 7 shots on target, 6 of them went in the goal. And only 1 big chance apiece. So great stuff. Everything flying in this game. Mistakes, goals. You love to see it. Well, you do love to see it. But then when you realise that Stoke have only got 4 points in the last 5 games, still only 6 games lost, which is less than Reading, who have 6 points more than them. Obviously, efficiency of performance there. But yeah, look at Stoke's recent run. Just drifting, isn't it? Okay, I do acknowledge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, 1 defeat. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only 9 points in 8 games. That's not going to get you in the playoffs. That's certainly not going to raise you up from just beneath the playoffs to get into the playoffs. When, as we spoke about with reference to Bournemouth, that all of the top 6 has won their last 2 games. You know, they've all done 6 points in 2 games, haven't they? So Rotherham on to 20 points, and all of a sudden we would start to think about possibly another high tide season. By that I mean we look at 1 point per game as the standard. And last season we had loads of people around it, and Charlton ultimately got relegated with 49, which is obviously 3 more than the 46 points that would be 1 point per game to stay up. And now look, Rotherham are 1 game off the 1 point per game. Derby are 1 game off it. QPR have got it. Forest have got it. It's only Wednesday and Wycombe, and Wednesday are in good form with the 10 points in the last 4. And frankly, they've had a 6-point deduction. So in pure mathematical terms, they have hit 1 point per game. So I'm wondering now whether we get high tide and, you know, like someone mentioned, look at now Coventry, Birmingham and Millwall on 26, whether that now starts to sucker other people into the battle. Let's have a look here. Taxes, death and Stoke drawing, absolutely. Jake, we'll talk about Hourihane on the next transfer update video. I have a piece of paper which is incredibly scruffy here. It's the back of a document there, which tells me I've got to talk about Gianna Lewis, if I'm pronouncing that right, at Norwich, and G, Keogh, Hourihane, Taverick and Crowley. So we will do a transfer update at some point, all over the place here. What a game this was. Good to see Rotherham go 2 without defeat. Great to see Smith and Crooks getting back to their best together. Crooks showing genuine championship quality. It could be a game changer, that, a goal-scoring number 10, like a Nick Powell and Matt Crooks both doing the business in this game. Always thought Rotherham v Stoke would have been a thrilling, high-scoring game, absolutely. Warren's 200th game as manager. Wow. How high is he up the list? How is it not more than 3-3? Stoke just love a good draw. Yeah, I'd get demonetised if I show the rights. Harsh on Bursic. No, I'm not being harsh on Bursic. Come on. Everyone uses this term harsh whenever you make a reasonable criticism. Yes, I understand. Just all I would say is go back and watch the Huddersfield game. I think his comment is his sort of confidence was a little bit damaged by then. And when I was at Stoke Blackburn, actually in the stadium, you can see a little bit the centre halves. Obviously, I want him to do really well, but no, I'm not being harsh at all. I'm being perfectly reasonable and balanced, like everything I ever say is, of course. I just instead of signing wingers, Stoke needs strikers. Yeah, true. Alan, Clucas, Fletcher, or Vokes not in there as well. What else have we got? Rotherham certainly won't be going down without a whimper. We hope not. We absolutely hope not. No one is at the moment if they can all hit that point per game. Stoke had only conceded 6 all season, then 3 away, then 3 last night. Wow. Sensational. Right. I think that's the show. Look, I haven't had much sleep. Sorry, I've been snapping back, but people find it amusing when I do snap back, don't they? Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you to Tyler for the super chat, and he was the king of the bin for the show. Every little helps, so if you can, head over to Patreon. Go subscribe on Patreon. Exclusive content over there, Q&As, and my quick versions of the prediction shows. If you're still in here, hit like before you go. If you're watching on delay, please get involved in the comments and give your views down there. And hey, I won't snap back at you because we'll be on delay. I'm going to be back later. I haven't quite got it organised. I've been all at sea because I didn't realise I was doing the Watford game yesterday, and then I had to go and write something and go to that game. So I'm a little bit behind where I was, but I will no doubt be better organised tomorrow. So keep an eye on the channel. We'll either be super streaming at like 6:45, or we'll be watching along with Norwich and Bristol City. Let me know which you would rather see. How dare I mispronounce a Greek name I've never said right. Thank you. Now go to bed. Yeah, I haven't had much sleep. I wish I was up all night. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I will be back later, hopefully less grumpy. And all that remains for me to say is over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.